Alright guys, I just thought I'd make a video on a few things that I wish I knew when I first started lifting weights. At the age of 14, I really wanted to have a six pack and have a bit of muscle on me, but my actions spoke otherwise. I was eating junk food every single day. Like literally before school, every single day, I'd be having like a whole packet of cookies and like a thing of M&Ms. I would eat that all literally before school. And I knew that if I wanted to put on some muscle and achieve this goal of getting the six pack, I knew that I had to make some changes. So at the age of 15, I decided to start lifting weights. Since then, I would argue that I've come pretty far. However, there are plenty of things that I do now that I wish that I knew back then. And in this video, I will be covering those things. Now, number one is eating enough protein. When I first started training, I had no idea about the importance of protein intake. It was only really until around the age of 16 that I started to realize the importance of it and actually grabbed an understanding of how much protein to eat. And since then, that was when I started seeing the most results. Now, a reason why protein is so important is because our body uses it to repair any muscle damage caused through exercise. However, in this case, it was through lifting weights. During exercise, our body breaks down our muscle fibers. And when we eat enough protein to help rebuild the muscle fibers, they grow back slightly bigger every time. And put simply, this is how you build muscle. Now, in my opinion, this is just what has worked for me, but I found my sweet spot for protein being between 120 to 180 grams a day. And it is from eating this amount that I have attained the results that I have got today. Might not be the same for everyone. You might need a bit more or a bit less depending on how much you weigh. This is just what works for me personally, but I do believe that it will benefit all of you as well if you eat that much. My second biggest mistake was overtraining. And when I was getting into lifting weights, I spent ages, like hours a day, watching all the old school Arnold videos. And in these videos, he would talk about training for hours a day, multiple times a day. And whilst I found this very motivating, I also wasn't aware at the time that he was using anabolic steroids. And basically this helps to speed up the recovery process, which explains why he could train as much as he did and for the duration that he did every single day. And if you're new to lifting, which I was at 15, I only really needed to be training maybe 3 to 4 times a week. Whereas I was training 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day. Now, the reason beginners only need to train about 3 to 4 times a week is because their body still hasn't adapted to weight training yet. And during this period of time, gains can be made very, very quickly. This is also commonly known as newbie gains for those of you that have heard of that before. So to sum up that point is don't overtrain, stick to maybe 3 to 4 times a week. And if you would like help with a training program, shoot me an email and I'll forward you one for free. Now, the last point I'm going to make with this video is focusing on form over the weight. Now, myself at 15, I remembered I had a goal of deadlifting 100 kilos. And this was in my first few weeks of training. So I thought it would have been the coolest thing to brag to my mates about me deadlifting 100 kilos. And what happened was I got a lower back injury. So please learn from my mistakes and do not lift too heavy. And on top of that, when it comes to using improper form, your muscles will not be fully engaged throughout the whole exercise. Now, a good example of this is someone doing bicep curls with weight that is too heavy. And typically what you'll see if someone's doing bicep curls that are too heavy is they'll be swinging back and forth a lot, essentially just using as much momentum as they can. Not only are they risking injury, but they are also not engaging their biceps properly, which basically just takes away from the whole exercise. Now guys, I hope this video was of value to you. If you enjoyed it or if you have any feedback, please drop it in the comments. And if you're not already, please subscribe and I'll see you all in the next one.